Hello, 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 hello. How you guys doing today? Wow. Let's talk about another good topic, right? What's a 501c? I know a lot of us always wonder about that. And a lot of the topic, people always ask me, Keyon, what is this about? How does it work? I had someone reached out to me and asked me to talk about it a little bit and share some light on some of the knowledge that I got from it. And one of the things that I want you guys to definitely do first, I always say don't just listen to people. Always definitely seek your own information. Definitely seek your own understanding and do your research the right way, right? Don't Google something and just read what another man say, but read sources that actually could give you valuable information with some real solid background on it, right? Because most of the times people take facts for other people's opinion. And this could be my opinion today, right? But it's not for you to just swallow the pill and say it is the definition of what is. It's really just a starter kit to have you say, you know what? He said something. I want to go look into that some more. And maybe then it will help you get your own understanding, right? So, what's a 501c, right? And why did the IRS created this code in a sense, and what is the purpose of it, and why do you see many corporations use these, or even people individually, or you attend different events or be a part of different groups and you hear them talk about this 501c, but no one never really touched on it to you and break it down to you. What are some of the great benefits of it? And also, how do others benefit from it? And why is it a great or a bad, depending on how you look at it, and different perspective of how people benefit from this, right? So the IRS Tax Code 501c, it's not just 501c. It actually comes in different sectors and different things that come in that. And I mean, like, there's a 501c1, there's a 501c2, there's 501c3 and 4, and you guys get the drift, right? And it always come back, like I said, why was this created and who benefit from it? And can the average person get a 501c? And what are some of the criteria that must be met in order to do this? Is it just the rich people that could be charitable, or get access to this tax code? And why is this tax code such a great thing, right? If you probably have a friend or a friend of a friend who actually started his own organization or his own group of things, right? And you probably wonder, like, why would he do that? Why would he create a nonprofit? Or what's the purpose? If it's nonprofit, then how you make money? Right? And a lot of people get confused by that. It's because they don't know. No one educated them. No one talked about them about this stuff. Are you kidding me? Who's talked to you guys about it? So here's some of the things that we got to understand first, right? And we must look at corporations. And I just want to talk about charity a little bit, right? And when you look at the definition of what a charity is, it says here, a charity is a organization that is set up to provide help and raise money for those in need, right? That's what it says that charity is. And most of the times we think and we look, like, I remember as a kid, I always seen on the commercial, we all seen the commercial where they say 45 cents a day could help feed a kid. And, it still kills me that commercial is still running, right? And the kids still look the same when I was a kid. It's almost like ain't nothing really changed. It's been 20 plus years now. I'm 29 years old. I remember watching that thing on TV when I was in Jamaica. I couldn't believe. And to grow up and see, I feel like it's the same thing. Like, it's to the point where people make joke of it now because they look at it like, ain't nothing changed since then, right? And when you look at their organization and their structure, it's a big organization. They're not just in Africa now, they're in different countries. And it's just, I just want you guys to wake up and think and do more research, do more, seek information, seek your understanding. Because if you don't seek understanding, you will believe anything. And if you believe anything, people will take advantage of that. And then you'll be stuck with nothing. All right? And that's not fair. I don't think that's the goal for anybody. I don't think anybody just want to be stuck with any and everything. People want to be educated. I think people want honesty more, and we have seen the results of too many people that's been too honest. And you know what? If that's what it takes, I guess. And those are some of the great sacrifices that real leaders must take in order to, help people, truly help people. I'm not talking about just for some benefit of becoming rich. And it's crazy. Some of the knowledge that I have and access to and, different companies and so on, you would think with the amount of knowledge I have, I should be super rich. But money and integrity are something that's very important that people must understand. That money and integrity, they're kind of like arch enemies, and to the conscious person, it could be a very hard thing. But I always learned that if you do what's right all the time, you will always have an abundance of money flow to you. Because, I believe in the universe. What you put out is what you get, right? And if we keep putting out what's right and what is not right, I think the honesty and the integrity in yourself will always prevail or make you a better person. And I think that's what we should always aim to be every day. Just a better person. But we must also educate each other. One teach one. And if I have information, like I always do, I share it. Why should it be a secret? Right? Why should only a certain amount of people benefit from this? I think everybody should benefit from information. Nowadays people talk about the news are being fake, and people can't even trust the news anymore because someone else is telling them that it's fake news. And I personally don't believe anybody until I know for myself, right? And that's what I'm encouraging people to do. Read more, do more research, get your own understanding of things. Life comes with concepts. So I'm here pulling this up and we're going to talk about it, right? And it's a conversation that is very important. So what is the IRS Tax Code 501c for? All right. So the 501c, pretty much, I don't want to say like it's a great way to have tax exempt money or tax exempt profits. It's just that a lot of 501c's that are developed do get tax exempt, right? I don't know if you guys understand what tax exempt mean. It means that they don't pay taxes, right? And it's because of the fact that it is structured a certain way. So why is that? Why is it created that way? Who created that, right? And the reason why it's created this way is because of the fact that people got to have access, right? And people must understand that if you don't learn about these different vehicles, you'll be really pretty much left behind. So let me share with you some stuff here. Here's a great thing. I saw this very good article. It says here, how to start a 501c, a non-profit organization. I'm just going to share with you some idea of how to do this. It says here, have you always want to leave the world a better place than you found it? Wow. Isn't that powerful? That's what we all should aim to do as a human being. We came in this earth, we saw the problem, but we should always aim to try to fix it. So it's like this. It says here, when you start a 501c, and let me be specific. Remember I told you that 501c comes from 1 to 29. And I'll tell you why they're different. If you click on the link that I placed in this audio, you will definitely understand what does that mean. So when you start a 501c3, a nonprofit organization, you'll contribute something positive to your community, your state, and your country, and even the world. Filing for a 501c3 status requires time and organization. In some cases, it may be better to work with an existing organization and start a project under them and contribute to their existing projects. This will allow you time to focus on making the world a better place instead of the many administrative requirements, right? So there's a lot of requirements that come with these things to upload. So the details are below, and it's telling me that I could share some of these details below, and I'm going to talk about them. So many of us hear a lot of wealthy people, or even younger people, whoever. People have different charities and different focus. Like they have women's group, they have domestic violence, they have religious, right, affairs, they have all different type of 501c's. And it says here, determine what type of nonprofit organization you want to create. And it said, choose an issue that is important to you or something that is matter of public interest, such as issues may include art, charities, education, politics, religion, research, or some other non-commercial endeavor, right? It says there are 29 type of organizations that will file for 501c3 tax exemptions. Isn't that awesome? It's pretty awesome. And here's some more stuff. It says number 2, choose a name for the organization. Although each state has its own set of regulations, you can expect 3 general rules to apply. Number 1, the name cannot be the same as the name of any other corporation on file with the state, the corporation division. All right? It has to be original. It can't be the same as any other one that's out there. Number 2, about half of all states require the name to end with a corporation designation, right? It has to be designed under that ending, such as corporations, incorporated, or limited. So when you see all these different like organizations, you see like CORP, right? Or INC or LTD, right? These are different corporations that must be filed with that at the end of it. So for example, what if I wanted to do, say, a Keyon Corniffe and Incorporated, right? Or Keyon Corniffe Corporation, or Keyon Corniffe Limited, right? So it's just different ways, right? It also says here, your name cannot contain certain designations reserved for the state, such as United States, reserves, federal, national, corporative, or bank. It cannot have none of that. All right? If you follow those rules, you're still in the guideline. So number 3, apply for the name that you've chosen, right? You got to apply for the name. So take the following steps. It says it's giving us step-by-steps here, right? It says visit your state's filing office website or call your state's corporation division. Ask to see if the name is available or if it's already taken. It also says here, if the name is available, then you can usually pay a small fee that will reserve the name for you until you have filed your articles of incorporation. If the name is taken, then create another name. Okay, so like I said, the name must be original. Number 4, formulate your mission statement, right? As a nonprofit organization, you exist to accomplish your mission based upon your proposed service and values. It says here the mission statement. The mission statement consists of expressions that covers in 1 or 2 sentences the name of the organization, what it does, for whom it performs service, and where it descends service. It should always, right? And it should also portray how your organization is distinct from others like it. So you must have a mission. You must find out a cause. You can't just wake up today and say, I want to save puppies, and I'm going to start my nonprofit. That's why they said, find an organization that's already doing what you're doing, so that way you can focus on the mission. But if you have a new focus or something like that, then I guess go after it, right? It says, make your mission statement compelling. It will use in all published material, funding requests, and public relations handout. Let me just read that part again. It will be used in all publishing materials, funding requests, and public relations handout. Use some of these mission statements as example, and it gives an example here. Here's some of the example. The mission of the St. Jude Children's Research Hospital is to advance cure and means of provisions for the pediatric, catastrophic, whatever disease through the research and treatment. So that's pretty much, they tell you exactly why they're doing it, right? So you got to be very clear, very on point what your mission statement is. It doesn't have to be a long 20-hour sentence, right? Number 5, then you just got to hire an attorney. Your attorney will help you with your article of incorporation and by law, right? You got to make sure that you stay in the guideline. Hire someone with a 501c3 experience to help you file the state and federal exemption form. You save both time and money in the long run, right? Most paralegal and attorneys have little experience with nonprofits. You can usually check out these services via on the State Bar Association reference form and just follow up with a nonprofit owner or the best advice they could tell you to do is what? Find someone that already did it and find out how they did it. And I would say success leave clues, right? So now we know exactly how they come together and create these things. Now that you guys have an understanding, here's the understanding that I want you guys to understand. We know that if you get money from most of these organizations that you create, they have something called administrations, right? So there's a board of directors, there's staffing, there's some of them come with management companies, right? Some of them have volunteers. And in some of them, yes, they say they're non-for-profit, but some of them pay their staffs. They have a president, right? They have vice presidents. They have secretaries and treasurers. You know, they have volunteers. They have some volunteers that are paid, right? They have different third parties, right? And someone got to get paid. So yes, they take donations. And I'm not trying to sound like I'm trying to tell you that all charity does this, but I'm just saying we just got to educate ourselves. We got to find out and, you know, audit your charity. Audit charity programs that you're a part of and let them show you where the money's going. You know, some people get really excited when you see wealthy people make big charity donations. And you got to understand that. You ever see when they say donate your car and you'll get tax deduction? It's the same thing rich people get when they donate or give the charity. They get a tax break, right? That's why it's so cool when they're so charitable, right? The more money they make, it's kind of like what you think is a big amount of money that they're giving away is actually chump change to them. But because they give away that much, they know they're getting a big tax break. So we must understand the fact that the fundamentals of understanding these things. And if we don't take the time to learn, it's either we're running it or it's running us. And I want you guys to really educate yourself on this. Click on the link and you'll be surprised of all the different type of charities that benefit from this and how they're benefiting, right? And you'll be surprised. Because when I learn and I seek for myself, and like I said, I'm not here to give you a full education on this, but just seek information. Go after it. Don't stop. Seek. Educate yourself. Now you know what I know a little bit. I gave you a link to review. And if you don't review, you will miss out on how great that information is. All right? So thank you guys for listening as usual. Make sure you reach out to me, 973-873-5977. And anytime you would love to sit down and get your free financial checkups, make sure you reach out to me, Mr. Finance. And we're always here to provide and definitely give you the information that you need at all times. Because I believe that people need information in order for them to succeed and get the lifestyle that they truly desire. And I believe that everybody needs this information, and that's all I'm here to do. I am here to educate and give you the information so that way you can apply it and create the lifestyle that you and your family truly desire. So once again, thank you for tuning in. Until then, I'm Mr. Finance, and I'm out.